All right, let's talk about that Scorpio crush of yours. For one very specific week, January 8th to the 14th, 2026, we're going to decode what's really going on in their heart and mind. And we're going to use a really fascinating tool to do it. So let's dive right in.
I mean, if you're crushing on a Scorpio, you know the feeling, right? That intensity, that passion, but also the silence, that sudden distance that can leave you totally confused, wondering what on earth they're thinking. Well, that's exactly what we are going to map out today.
So, first things first, to really get what's happening with them this week, we have to understand their core nature. You see, Scorpios love with an intensity that is just unlike any other sign. Their heart is this place of deep, powerful currents, and yeah, a lot of hidden fire. Let's explore that.
And this right here, this explains so much of that confusing behavior, doesn't it? They love so deeply, but they do it silently. They are feeling way more than they'll ever let on. And that distance you might feel, a lot of the time, it's actually a test of your trust, not them rejecting you. See, at their core, what Scorpios are really looking for is profound emotional security. They have to know they can be vulnerable with you. And their love, once you earn it, is anything but shallow.
So, how in the world do we predict their emotional state for this one specific week? Well, this is where we bring in our secret weapon, a numerology map. Just think of it like a special lens that reveals the unique emotional energy that's influencing them right now.
It's actually a pretty simple concept when you break it down. We're just looking at the numbers tied to the month, the year, and the week to get a really clear picture of the emotional theme. It's kind of like a forecast of their inner weather patterns.
And here's how it all breaks down. January is the first month, right? So it carries the energy of the number 1. That's all about new beginnings. Now, the year 2026, if you add up the digits, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6, that gets you 10. And in numerology, 1 plus 0 reduces to 1. So the year also vibrates with that bold, forward-moving number 1 energy. You add in the fact that it's the second week, which brings an increase in passion, and what do you get? A really powerful forecast for bold, new, and passionate emotional shifts.
Okay, so we've got the overall theme. Now let's get into the details. We're going to walk through this week day by day, tracking the flow of their inner world so you know exactly what to expect and when.
Here's the big picture for you. The week starts off with some deep, internal reflection. Then it moves into a spark of connection, hits a brief but totally predictable moment of withdrawal, and then it all culminates in this big wave of passion and bonding. It's a full emotional journey, for sure.
Let's break down that first part. So, on January 8th, your Scorpio is probably going to be in deep thought, thinking about you pretty intensely. Then, from the 9th to the 11th, all that energy starts to turn outward. They'll feel this real desire to reconnect, a sense of missing you, and a new openness. This, right here, is your window of opportunity. Then comes January 12th. And listen, this is the day you might start to freak out a little. You could get sudden silence, or feel some distance. But the most crucial thing to remember is this. It is not what it looks like. This is not a loss of interest. This is classic Scorpio. They're in control mode, they're observing your reaction, and yeah, they're testing your loyalty. They just have to know you're a safe harbor for their feelings. The best thing you can do? Just give them some calm space. Because if you pass that little test, your reward comes on the 13th and 14th. That withdrawal phase ends, and the passion comes rushing back, probably stronger than before. The numerology here points to intense attraction, a craving for closeness, and this powerful desire for deep emotional bonding. This is when you connect. You might even get a message that looks something like this. Now, for most people, 4 words, no big deal. But for a Scorpio, these 4 words carry immense weight. It is their heavily guarded way of saying that you are on their mind in a really significant way. It's proof that even when they're silent, their feelings are running deep.
Okay, so knowing their emotional forecast is one thing, but knowing how to act on it, well, that's everything. So let's get into a practical guide for how you can connect with them this week.
Here it is, laid out as clearly as possible. Your best chances for a great conversation are super high from the 9th to the 11th, and then again on the 13th and 14th. And see that big dip on the 12th? That's your day to just lay low. Think of this chart as your cheat sheet for timing your move perfectly.
So what's your game plan? Here are 4 golden rules. First, please skip the small talk. Go for genuine, deep conversation. Second, try to match their energy. Be warm, but keep a little bit of mystery. Third, like we talked about, give them space on the 12th. And finally, and this is a big one,
Compliment their energy or their depths, not just their appearance. That's what really gets their attention.
Want some actual examples? Try one of these. A message like, "Your energy feels powerful lately," acknowledges their intensity, which, trust me, they'll love. And saying, "I appreciate the depth you carry," shows them that you see beyond the surface. A message like this can melt a Scorpio's guarded heart way faster than any typical pickup line. Because ultimately, that's what you're dealing with here. A love that is truly like fire underwater. It's controlled, it's often hidden from view, but just beneath the surface, it is always burning with this incredible intensity. Now that you have the map for this week, how are you going to navigate those depths?